Okay, guys, very special episode. Again, as always, we love real estate, we love social media, and today is the real estate episode with this good-looking guy. And look at the backdrop. Like, I thought for a second that was a green screen, but like, I know it's not. So I love that. The books, it's awesome, inspiring, man. So first of all, for the people again who are not familiar with Andrew, I'm just gonna read a little bit of bio about him. So again, in front of you is Andrew Adam. He's Keller Williams Realty real estate agent, and he's basically an apartment owner and professional property manager turned real estate agent. And as he mentioned, he loves helping investors to build their rental property portfolios. So very impressive. So again, first of all, I just want to thank you again for being here on the show and spending this quality time with us. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you for the invite. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Thank you. So again, I love the vibe. I love the books. So first of all, maybe you can explain, kind of take us a little bit through your journey. How did you ended up being involved into real estate business?
Yeah, so in 2012, read a couple of these Rich Dad Poor Dad books and just got obsessed with the idea of the first house being a rental property. So we got a duplex. We rented out the bigger half, and my wife and I lived in the smaller half. And yeah, that was 8 years ago. And now we have 23 rental units and are under contract for another 14, which would put us at 37 once we close. Yeah, so just kind of addicted to buying rental properties and also helping other people with my full-time job getting into the space. So
that is good. That is a good thing to be addicted to, right?
Yeah, yep.
There's worse choices, in the market available.
Yep.
Yeah. So like for the audience, because again, like because there's kind of two things that you do, as you mentioned, like you have a multifamily property. So again, congrats of like building your own portfolio and achieving what you achieve currently. And I'm sure, if we would connect, next year, which I hope we're going to do, and the next year and the next year, I mean, your portfolio is going to get bigger. I'm sure of that, because I mean, the books and the way you handle yourself is just, all that energy has to go somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe you can tell the people, like, how did you find like yourself? Because I know like everybody's pitching the Rich Dad Poor Dad, great book, phenomenal. If you didn't read it, go and grab it. But like, what was about real estate that made you like, I need to go and get involved into this business?
Yeah, so kind of a weird thing about me is I struggle with talking with people about sports and cars. I actually like zoos. I went to college to become a zookeeper, so that's kind of fun. But the thing with a job that doesn't pay too well, and when your weekends are Tuesdays and Thursdays, you don't have time or money to do anything else. So that's why I really got into the quote unquote passive investing, where the tenant's rent is helping me make money by paying for the rent, and then how that can build not only wealth but cash flow, and then frees up some time to where I can work for myself as an agent. And then now I actually have time to go to different zoos across the United States with my wife. And there's 385 zoos-ish in the United States, and my wife and I have been to about 41. So it's our bucket list. So that's kind of part of my why is real estate is the fuel, to build the wealth, so that I can, help build zoo exhibits at my local zoo and stuff. So
that is cool. That is very interesting. Zoo exhibit. So how is that going to look like?
Yeah, so my wife and I gave, I think it was 1,000 or 2,000 to the last bear exhibit. So our names on the plaque. And then, in 20 years, when I'm really big, then I can donate a big chunk and have them build a specific building or something like that. So, yeah.
So what about that? Because I do understand, there's a certain species that might go extinct. Like, but what did attract you? Like, since you were a child, like why zoos in particular?
Yeah, so I've always had a bunch of reptiles and snakes. I used to work at the Omaha Zoo with the alligators when I was in college. Wow. And so I just really enjoy that. It's really, really rewarding. But I found that can actually be a little bit of a hobby and side passion. And then the real estate can kind of help feed that then. So, yeah.
That is awesome. I know like some of the people, again, people are thinking, now, why is he not telling us the story? This is the interesting part. We want to hear it more, like, don't give us the short answers. That's exactly what people are thinking. Believe me, I'm one of them. because you know, like I would love to hear more again, you know, like because I think it's very important, because at the end of the day, like everybody wants to be a successful professional in any space, let's say real estate, and that's why people tuned
Yep.
in because of the title and the YouTube and the
Hmm.
cover. It was like, man, I need to go and see the successful real estate professional. But you know, I think it's very important at the end of the day
Hmm.
just to give back, whatever that might be, because again, there's a lot of, you know, bad things happening in the world, and like to solve these problems we need money, right? So maybe you can explain like people how is
Yep.
that important to build wealth, and then, you know, give a portion to that and just help a lot of people.
Yeah, so when I actually left college, because of some family stuff, I actually didn't plan on having any student loans, but then I ended up with, my wife and I had about $66,000 in student loans. And so I was thinking, okay, I can complain about it for the next 20 years, or I can do something about it. So my wife and I both had second jobs and paid off all of our student loans in about 2.5 years. And then we just kept snowballing those payments into a fourplex and then kept going from there. And then I started noticing as we were living off of just her income, it gave us a little bit more freedom. You know, like I don't have to just eat ramen anymore. I can, you know, we can go out to eat every once in a while, and you know, we just got, you know, Netflix and, you know, little splurges here and there. And so you know, it's nice for the lifestyle to kind of get rewarded, so I don't burn out. But then, you know, it makes the wife a little happy to see the net worth climbing. She's an accountant, and then also it's fun just to go to the zoo fundraiser every year and, you know, write a check, whatever we can do that year. And it's just really fun to kind of help out that way.
Yeah, that is beautiful. And you know, definitely having a wife who's an accountant, you know, makes the situation even better. You know, tracking
Exactly.
always on the numbers. Like today we did this,
Yep.
every day tracking them. That is awesome. That is beautiful. So, you know, like
Hmm.
what would you recommend for people, again, being a real estate agent, working for this great
Hmm.
company, like it's a very well-known company, and
Hmm.
being
Yep.
like multifamily investor, like for the people who are
Hmm.
watching right now, what do you recommend? Like what paths should they take
Yeah.
if they want to
So
get
I
in more?
don't
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I don't actually think that the first deal has to be like a home run, because sometimes people, you know, they want a 10 cap, they want a ton of profit and put no work into it, and have someone else manage it on day one. And that's not how I started. You know, I had to put in some work, and yeah, I lived in it, which is a little bit of a sacrifice. But then I only had to put 3.5% down. And so I think getting in it and starting small, then once that then you have 2 years experience, then you can leverage that equity and experience into the next one, and then you can just build from there. You know, I've been in it 8 years, and now I'm at 23 units, hopefully 37 by the end of the year. You know, like to me that's a little slow. You know, I hear someone else got 100 units in the first year or something, and to me I don't think that's super realistic. And so what I help my clients do is find something in their budget that they can get. And, you know, as the house is appreciating, the debt is being paid down, and then they're able to leverage at low interest rates, then if the rent is covering the mortgage, you know, then they're usually sitting in a pretty good spot. So
Mm,
yeah, I usually try to help my clients run numbers on deals because that's always fun. So,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So what do you think? You know, a house hacking, is that an option? Because that's what you did on your first deal, right, with wife?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite way. A lot of my clients will get, you know, a duplex or a fourplex, and they'll live in one unit and rent out the other ones. And yeah, I mean, 3 to 5% down. That's really awesome versus having to put the full 25% down. So
Got it. So what would you recommend for people to go and, you know, try to syndicate any deals from a get-go, or what do you think
yeah,
about
I don't want to go against that necessarily, but one thing, I went to quite a few of those conferences. I think I went to like 6 of them,
that?
different speakers and stuff, some of the books. And I guess what was a slight turnoff was I met people that only had a year of experience, and so they really hadn't even gone through like a winter or a wet season or anything, and they were syndicating a deal. They were taking $3 million of other people's money, and they were managing the manager, but they didn't have any experience. And so that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. And
Okay.
so right now, actually, I did partner with someone on a sevenplex in my town. But we just, you know, did, you know, partners in an LLC. So it wasn't a full syndication. So I'm looking at a lot of deals under 24 units that people can either partner on or by themselves. And then you don't have I guess the scale, but also kind of the complications that go with SEC regulations and accredited investors and that type of thing. So
Yeah. The syndication, there's a lot of moving pieces. So what do you mean about, you know,
yeah.
you said that some of the syndicators, again, we're not gonna mention the names, but you mentioned they
Nope.
don't have any
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
So what are you saying? Like, what was missing? They like they didn't do the footwork. Like, what was going on?
Yeah, so not the person on stage or who wrote the book, but the
Yeah,
people in the
got it.
audience that were with me. There
Yeah,
was 7 people in my same row, and they're all like, haven't bought a first rental property, but I want to syndicate. And so it just seemed like, I guess, everybody wants to syndicate, but so many people don't have any or much experience with it. And, there's definitely some really good syndicators out there, and I've networked with them and are friends with them on Facebook and everything. But it was kind of like a warning line to me of, hey, I'm meeting hundreds of people that are very green wanting to syndicate. And I'm like, well, why can't they just go get an eightplex, that type of thing. So.
yeah. When you mentioned green, I
Yep.
just raised my hand. Remember, I told you I'm a
Sure.
green.
Yeah, yeah.
So guys, I hope you're gonna get a little bit into the red after this interview, because you want to be hot. You want to be hot, and you want to go places and just
Hmm.
do stuff. So what do you
Yeah.
think would be kind of common traits for a successful real estate investor? Like what are we looking for?
Yeah. So I do think that when I paid off my student loans, I had to be kind of in that Dave Ramsey mentality, but then I kind of had to go a little bit more rich dad, poor dad mentality, because I have over $1 million of real estate debt right now. It's
Yeah,
I don't
bad
have
debt
any
is
student loans or
yeah,
bad debt, but you have to be okay with the good debt. And I'm trying to get another million more right now. And so eventually I will probably cap out and have to syndicate and partner with more people and stuff. But just getting used to the debt. And I think that takes a certain personality. Some people are very risk averse, debt averse. I kind of had to take my wife in baby steps, from, okay, well, just one rental unit, just 4 more, just, a couple more fourplexes. And so, yeah, like getting the wife on board was a really big piece. And then, yeah, so I think also sales is obviously a good thing. But if people I have a few friends that will probably be better to get into syndication. They don't want to do the maintenance. They're very risk averse. They want to write a check and get a return. And that's totally cool. I'm just a little bit more hands-on. I'm a little bit more want more control. So I'm self-managing everything. But yeah, for those people that want to invest, I am very much that real estate is the way. I'm not super into the stock market. A virus makes the stock drop 30%. Like, I've never lost that much in real estate. It's always very slowly but steady going up. So I think everybody should invest in real estate. And so whether it's on the passive or active or just living in your own home and leveraging, I am for my kids' college fund, do a HELOC. Everything is real estate. So.
Yeah. It's definitely, like if you go on Instagram or Facebook or like just Google real estate, you're gonna real estate quotes. You're gonna find so many good
Yep.
quotes. Real
Yep.
estate
Yep.
landlords sleep, like get rich while they sleep. I mean, it's like
Yep.
it's the truth. Like there's so many investments now, particularly like what's going on now with the Corona. Right now
Hmm.
everybody's like freaking out, like,
Yep.
oh my god, what's going on? And it's crazy, like, and the markets are just dropping, and again everybody's waiting for a downturn, so kind of everything is just in place for things just to go down from here. So what do you think, like,
Yep.
how people
Yep.
should position themselves? And again, this is for kind of for new people who are looking to get involved. What do you think
Hmm.
could be there a timing issue for them? Because again, if they're not aware about where market is going, they might like make some crucial mistakes. Or if they're aware about what's going on, should they wait it out, or should they start investing now?
Sure. I can't really comment on the stock market, but as far as the real estate market, I think
Yeah,
that it's very, very local. And I think that everybody, whether they're going to be passive or very hands-on, flipping themselves, then getting to know your local market is huge. From meeting an agent, getting deals from the MLS, taking wholesalers out to eat, meeting bankers to see what you get qualified for. Reading is actually, I think, a big piece of the deal, because when I have a conversation with someone and they don't know the vocab, I can actually mentally put them in a certain bracket as far as like,
yeah,
they can maybe do a duplex, but this is not a 12plex person because they don't know the vocabulary. They don't know the right questions to ask. But I think anybody could start with a duplex. And I think that's an awesome way to start, or fourplex if you can leverage a little bit more. And yeah, so I just think education and really learning your market. I mean, I have a number of years to where I can know what a apartment should rent for. And then if it's under rent, then I know that's an opportunity. Well, that's kind of agent's job. So if you get to know property managers and real estate agents and also bankers, I think those three people can really be the crucial parts of your team, and then they can help you find contractors and kind of go from there. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, the team. Everybody knows the team
yeah.
is like together. Everybody achieves more. So it's definitely
Hmm.
like in real estate crucial part. Like you cannot go anywhere
Yeah.
without it. In business, in general, whatever business you have, if you want to have a business,
Hmm.
not to be a solopreneur or the entrepreneur, you have to you have
Hmm.
to have a team. So yeah, you mentioned one
Yep.
thing that again relates to all the books that you have in the background. Again, like I love them, man. I love them. I wish
Hmm.
I would could, have something like I just have a few books somewhere laying. I kind of feel ashamed right now, but
There you go. Yep.
what do you think? Like again, we're gonna talk about the books, but first of all, the mentors. Like how is
Hmm.
that should play in a beginner person, real estate game. Like is that should be like at the beginning stage or when they get involved, they got a few properties. Like when does the real estate mentor comes into the play?
Yeah, so I've never personally, I guess, paid a person to, be on coaching calls with me. So I don't have a coach or mentor that I pay, but I've had, people that I go to answer questions, a specific commercial banker or commercial agent. And now I am an agent. So then I have people above me that have more experience. I just have a couple people in my local market that I can go to, and they can say, well, have you thought about this? And maybe I'll buy them a beer, we'll develop a friendship, and they can kind of make me question my own assumptions, which is really good. And yeah, so I find that a little bit more organic and a little bit easier on the pocketbook as well, that I do have people on my team that have that mentor coach role, but that they, I guess I don't write them a check necessarily. I pay for their meal or give them a transaction type of thing. So.
Yeah, yeah, it makes sense because probably you guys who are watching this and you probably looked for the mentor for that option before. I
Hmm.
mean, there's different. Like I spoke with the people, they do like $75 an hour to six figures, like for a month or whatever that might be.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
but you guys sometimes you just betting again. You have to do your own due diligence before you dive in and just see
Yep.
because now we live in in this age like everything is available, all the access. Like you
Yeah.
want to get, you can go and do due diligence and see basically when your mentor was born, where he was born, and like all the information is
Yep.
there. So what do you think about
Hmm.
again the books? The second thing, because again maybe person who's watching, he's thinking like maybe look, I don't have a six figures. All that money is going to real estate, but I can scrape a few
Hmm.
dollars in my pocket and go and grab like 3 business, real estate, personal development books. So what
Yep.
those 3, I don't know how many thousands of books you have in there, but just 3 books that you would recommend.
Yeah. So I love the Rich Dad Poor Dad books as far as the mental shift.
Yep.
And gosh, a lot of kind of real estate books in general. As I got into the apartment space, then I geared more towards reading. I have some syndication books, some partnering books. Personal finance, I mentioned Dave Ramsey before. I do, I think debt is necessarily is good, but I do think you have to have your personal house in order, because if you make six figures and you can't save and then you keep making more, I live on just my wife's income and invest everything else. So I think personal finance. So I have a whole couple shelves of personal finance books, and then kind of all the Rich Dad Poor Dad books, and Think and Grow Rich, and Richest Man in Babylon, all those
All
things
the
where
classics,
it's
yeah.
essentially save, invest, and network with other people and everything. So.
Got it. Great, man. Again, yeah, I just love these. I just love these. Look great. Maybe I should get a green screen and just pretend that I read this much of a books. That
There
is
you go.
that
Yep.
is awesome. So again, having 2 shelves of finance books, maybe again you can see like the common again traits and the mistakes that people make with their finances that will stop them from investing, right?
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And actually, maybe it's kind of a contrary idea, but I listen to a lot of podcasts as well, like 2 times speed, so I can listen to 40 hours and 20 hours type of thing.
Yep.
But one thing in the personal finance space is it seems like the generic answer is, okay, and then put everything in your retirement account. And I don't want to have to not be able to touch my nest egg until I'm 60. You know, I'm only 30, and that's a long time. And I want to, so everything I invest is into real estate. So I don't necessarily use the retirement vehicles because I want to, be hands-on and use it in the, in just the real estate space. So.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Yeah. So what do you think people should say, like, what is the strategy that you follow yourself personally? Is that like a 70-30? Like, how much do you put like money on investment? Are you very frugal with money? Like, how do you operate?
Yeah.
Because again, the wife helps. I
Yeah.
know
I
that,
used
but
to be. Yeah, yeah. I used to be more frugal. My lifestyle has slowly crept up, but I still invest as much as I can. Since I'm commission, it's actually kind of hard to get a percentage because my next deal might be $3,000 or $10,000, and I'm going to invest everything but 1,000 into real estate. So yeah, it's, I guess, kind of hard. I save as much as I can, so I kind of like the FIRE movement, save and invest as much as you can. But at the same time, I don't think I'm ever going to retire. When I'm 75, I hope I can still put some deals together and partner with somebody on a 24-plex just for fun and give all the proceeds to a local charity, or, it's rewarding. I don't think I'll ever want to stop. So.
yeah, I don't think you will ever stop. I mean, with this level of energy, man, my thoughts are just trying to catch you up like every time you just go in, and that is
Sure,
awesome.
sure.
I love the vibe. I love the energy, man. So it's gonna take a long way, So
Hmm.
coming to that, to longevity of the business, and maybe you can share again, because it's kind of a new year,
Hmm.
2020. It's a great number. Kind of started like very rough. I don't
Yeah.
know why, but maybe you can give and share people, share a couple of, your business goals, what you're looking to accomplish, this year.
Yeah, yeah. So I originally wanted to triple my portfolio, and my wife said we are expecting our first child in June, a little boy. But so I said, okay, well maybe we'll just double the portfolio. So currently at 23, going to get to 37, which isn't quite doubling the portfolio. Want to increase the net worth about 100 grand. I'd love to get about 24 clients that are buying rental properties every single year, and also want to go to a couple new zoos. So yeah, kind of increasing income, net worth incrementally, and then also becoming a parent, because that's kind of important. So.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure, definitely. So
Hmm.
coming from the social media standpoint, like, because
Yeah.
again, it's kind of a selfish question, because like we, again, as you guys know, like we talk to things, social media and real estate on social media, because I have, personal a social media company where we work with real
Hmm.
estate people. And when asked that
Hmm.
question, they, most of the time, they just get confused. They're like, so what will be like your platforms that you use, like social media, or could be even the softwares that you use, just to make your like day-to-day business to run more smoother and just to attract more clients? Do you leverage that?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so I probably spend too much time on Facebook, but I get a ton of clients from Facebook. I'm,
I
friends
see
with the
the button.
maximum.
I see
Yeah,
the
yeah.
button.
I'm friends with 5,000 people on Facebook, and
Wow.
I haven't met 3,000 of them. But then they see in the news feed, I do a post every day, whether it's a video or picture or quote, usually about real estate and finance, and then couple times a week, I have people reach out in my local market and say, hey, this is really neat. Could you show me some rental properties, or I'd like to partner on a deal. So Facebook is huge for me. And then I also use Instagram. My handle's like The Rental Agent with the underscores in between. So it's kind of fun just to kind of specialize in that niche. So really Facebook and Instagram, and then I do the YouTube videos on that channel. And so, yeah, those are the three that I utilize the most.
Here you go. Here you go. Because I think in this, I know in this day and age is a must. Like for any business, it's not even the real estate. Because again,
Hmm.
like particularly now, what's going on in the market, and that's coming back, to having a downturn. Like
Hmm.
like I know so many, real estate syndicators. They raising capital, and what you mentioned, like some of them are very new, and some of them are still
Hmm.
getting involved into the business, even though it's hard to find the deals, and the money's
Hmm.
there. But what's going to happen at that
Hmm.
time? It's very simple. I mean, when the market is going to go down, people are going to stop spending money. Like you read two shelves of books about finance. So you already know, like, that's going to happen. People stop spending money. So when people are going to do that, people are going to sit at home. They're going to order the takeaway instead of going to the, this fancy barbecue place and having wine and whatnot. And they're going to sit at home, order the takeaway, turn on TV. And instead of watching TV, they're going to watch this. They're going to scroll Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they're going to look for something. Whatever it's going to catch their attention at that time, they're going to be like, whoa, maybe we should consider right now selling or buying, house or this fourplex or duplex with Andrew. Because we just seen him, we've seen this great, cool video or just a quote or a pic, something that grabbed us attention. So it's a must. It's a must, definitely. So again, before we wrap up, I just want to say, like, big thank you, man. That was a kind of quick running gun interview, but again, that's the way Andrew handles things. I can sense that everything is quick with this man. So again, maybe you can share some of the social media platforms for people who want to get in contact with you, just ask a few questions and just, if they want to buy something as well.
Yeah, for sure. So my Facebook is Andrew Adam, no S, and then KW, that's my business page. And then the_rental_agent is my Instagram. And then, from those two, we can jump on a call. My phone number's up there. Email, that type of thing. So I'd love to meet people for a coffee or beer in my local area, or I'm telling people about the Sioux Falls market here in South Dakota. People will call and everybody wants to start investing here. So it's kind of a hidden gem. It's not overheated, but we're growing like crazy. It's an awesome market. So
here you go. So all the info is going to be down below for you guys. So get in contact with Andrew, ask some questions. Again, if you're looking to invest, do your due diligence. Like I'm pretty sure, like because you've been born and raised in this market in Dakota,
yeah. Yep.
So I mean, this man knows the in and out, like everything, every square meter in there, he already knows it. So definitely great vibe, great vibe, like you see knowledgeable, like sharp. So definitely connect. This is one of the people you should get in contact and just connect with him and talk some real estate. So again, just appreciate you being on the show, guys. If you enjoyed the show as much as I did, that was a phenomenal, man. Really appreciate it. Click the like, subscribe to the channel. Again, go and check it out, Andrew's YouTube, because he mentioned he got that one where he's dropping knowledge about real estate. And as always, I'm going to see you on the next episode. Thank you.